A number of reports have indicated that the Iranian Air Force has continued to expand its fleet of F-14 Tomcat air superiority fighters at a considerable rate, putting airframes which have been out of service for several decades back into action, and training more crews to operate the elite twin-seat jets. Iran placed an order for 80 F-14 jets from the United States during the 1970s, with the country's leader Mohammad Reza Shah having personally selected the swept-wing aircraft, and made considerable efforts to gain Washington's permission to purchase what were at the time the most advanced fighter jets in the world. Iran thus became the only export client for the F-14 in the world, with other U.S. adversaries making do with lighter, cheaper and less capable fighters designed with export in mind, such as the F-16 and F-5. Indeed, the capabilities of the F-14 were so advanced that an export variant of the fighter was never officially developed, and the fighters flowed to Iran, after some light modifications, were produced with U.S. military markings which had to be erased by the American crews sent to train the Iranian airmen. Following the Shah's overthrow in 1979, the Iranian fleet was left largely in a state of disrepair, with a lack of parts and American arms embargo, meaning that in the early stages of the Iran-Iraq War, only around a dozen of the 79 Tomcats delivered were serviceable. The 80th fighter was never delivered, and Iran would continue to demand compensation or the aircraft's delivery for decades. With the U.S. having yet to integrate advanced medium and short-range AIM-9 and AIM-7 missiles onto the aircraft, Iran's Tomcats were armed only with Cannon and AIM-54 Phoenix missiles, the longest-ranged air-to-air platform in the world with a range approaching 200 kilometers. The Phoenix SAS often successfully pressed into service against Iraqi jets at intermediate ranges, reportedly at ranges as short as 19 kilometers. Iranian Tomcats suffered only 3 losses to Iraqi fighters during the entire 8-year war, while reportedly downing 160 Iraqi jets. Their ability to neutralize Iraqi jets at around 10 times their retaliation rate due to the advanced capabilities of their missiles was a considerable asset in the Iranian jets' favor. Iran's ability to acquire parts for its Tomcat fleet was limited, and while the country could quickly develop the manufacturing facilities needed to service its simpler F-5E, and kept its F-4E Phantoms flying through a combination of reverse engineering spare parts and acquiring parts from other users on the black market, this was not an option for the far more complex F-14, of which it was the sole foreign operator. A severe shortage in AIM-54 missiles after the Iran-Iraq War's end further limited the Tomcat's usefulness in Iranian hands, and only a fraction of the fleet remained operational for several decades.